Hey Aquarius, welcome to your year-end reflections reading, where we'll take a peek at lessons that you have learned over the past year and how best to move into 2023. So we're going to start first by pulling a couple of oracle cards just to see what energy is surrounding this reading for you. And the first card that we have out for you is Oracle Knowledge. And let's pull another and see what other energies are surrounding this reading for my Aquarius collective. And the one that flipped out for you is Trust. You've gone through a lot of lessons being learned, I think, over the past year, Aquarius, where you have gained knowledge. And I think that you have become more trusting of yourself and getting to a place where it's like, yep, I learned the hard way. I don't need to repeat that lesson again. I know what I need to do moving forward. And so it feels as though there's been a sense of empowerment that's been given to you through all of these lessons that you have learned. And now you're more trusting in the path that you're on, that you're trusting yourself to make the decisions that are right for you, that you are really trusting that your story is going to unfold the way it was meant to unfold for you. And I am getting such a sense of joy that's coming from your reading so far. I do think that for a lot of you, this knowledge has been pretty hard earned. As was the case with several other of the signs that I've read for their year-end readings, but it's put you in a much better place. So let's jump into some tarot and see what other messages we can pull for you. And we're going to start with sort of the theme from the past year. What was the major theme that you had? And we have the Chariot in reverse. So I think that when it comes to your growth and movement, it felt very, very stagnant over the past year, Aquarius. And I think sometimes it even may have felt like you were moving backwards. It was almost a situation. It's like, oh my God, one step forward, two steps back. What the hell is going on here? And it almost felt as if in some instances you were repeating situations that you may have experienced previously. And I think that oftentimes when that happens, it's because we haven't necessarily taken the lesson that we could have from whatever has happened to us previously. And so then we know to sort of sidestep when we see those same red flags. So I think that there was some things that were on repeat. It felt like you just were not progressing. And we have the Two of Materials, or the Two of Pentacles, in reverse, which is about juggling things. It's about finding balance. And so I think that for a good part of the year, Aquarius Collective, you all were not feeling particularly grounded. You weren't feeling very centered. It was this sort of constant feeling in the pit of your stomach that's like, something's not right. Something's wrong. I do not know how to fix it. And here I am. You know, it was very much, I think, a feeling of being defeated for a good part of the year until you were able to start pulling yourself out of it. So something that you grew from. We have the Two of Voices in reverse. This is the Two of Swords in traditional tarot. So really having inflection points, having to sort of make a decision. Which path is it that you want to take? Are you able to see your options clearly? And so the Two of Voices, when it's upright, is about being blinded and having to make a decision, or, you know, having not made it just yet. And so I think that you grew from being put in a position where you were forced to be decisive, that you were in a place where it's almost like, you know what, I gotta go on the information that I have right now, and I have to trust that it's going to be the right one for me. So I think that over time, you started growing and being more decisive and deliberate about the steps and the actions that you took in your life. And we have that clarified by the Seven of Materials, or the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So the Seven of Pentacles is really a card of planting seeds and being patient and waiting for, you know, tending to your garden and waiting for the flowers to bloom, the veggies to grow, or whatever. But I do think that throughout this impatience and this stagnancy, you got to a point where it's like, you know what, I have to choose what my path forward looks like. There's no more sitting on the fence. There's no more waiting for anything. If there's something that I want in this life, I have to go out and get it. And I do think that this shift in attitude, this shift in energy started happening maybe closer towards the end of the year. It doesn't feel as though you came into 2022 with that mindset, but you started learning, you started growing over time. And it's almost like you hiked your britches up and was like, okay, life, let's do this. So it's a much stronger, more confident energy that I feel like you have adopted over time. So something that was a bit of a challenge for you throughout the past year, we have the Tower. And so the Tower is really about sudden, unexpected change. It can be positive, it can be negative, depending on what your situation is. But I think that for your purposes, Aquarius, throughout the past year, there were so many things that were changing. I think I just got people flipped on me. And so I think that for a lot of the relationships that you had during 2020 through 2022, there was this sort of bit of a lightning moment that happened in at least one of them, where it's like, where the hell did that come from? And it's like almost like what you thought you knew about someone was completely turned on its head. And, you know, this could be someone that you thought was an advocate. This would be someone that you thought was a friend. I'm almost getting for a lot of you situations where you thought that you had people around you who were supportive of you and your dreams and the sort of life path that you were on. Come to find out, not necessarily the case. That they may have, you know, sort of secretly been rooting for you to fail. There have been some, I think, that even went so far as to try and sabotage your progression forward. But it really just, it feels like there were some things that were beyond your control that just sort of turned things on its head. And we have the 10 of inspiration and the 10 of voices, both in reverse. So I think that the shock that came from these Tower moments that you experienced really put you in a place where it was very difficult for you, I think, to get over that sense of betrayal, to get over, you know, to be able to sort of put down that burden where you may have been thinking, well, what the fuck did I do to deserve this? Like, I had no idea that you felt this way. And so I think that spending time in that process and kind of sitting with that energy was also contributing to things slowing down, because you were in a place of trying to figure out the hows and the whys and the what am I supposed to do now of this situation that you experienced. So something that you should be happy about that may have brought you a little bit of joy in the past year. What can my Aquarius collective be happy about? And we have the 2 of inspiration. So I love this because it feels as though throughout all of this not so great experiences that you've had with other people in this Tower moment, it has sort of opened up your eyes to the opportunities that can possibly exist. So the 2 of Wands is really focused on whether or not you should stay in one place or if you should go out and explore the world to try something new. And so I think where you felt a little bit stagnant and you were weighed down and trying to get out of this energy from the negative things that have happened, you know, to you involving other people, it's like I have a choice. I can stay in this energy, or I can get back up on my feet and meet new people and have new experiences. And so I think that, again, something you should be very happy about, Aquarius, is that you took the opportunity to start exploring, that you picked yourself up, that you got out of this, you know, 10 of Swords energy, you got out of this 10 of Wands energy, and you started progressing forward. Again, I do feel like that came sort of later in the year and you were spending a good chunk of time dealing with this garbage that other people left on your doorstep. And now it's like, okay, I got to move forward without them. Like, I have no choice. I can't stay here anymore. And we have that clarified by the Four of Inspiration, or the Four of Wands. So this is the gateway card. It's the 1111 card. It represents foundations and growth. So I think that what you can pat yourself on the back for right now, Aquarius, is that you started building something for yourself. You saw a different path and you chose to take it rather than staying where you are right now. And I think that that was gained through the lessons that you have learned, the knowledge that you have sort of taken in throughout these situations, and you're trusting that you know what to do going forward onto this new path. So something that you should acknowledge, something wonderful, something that's coming towards you. Okay, we have two that came out. We have the Page of Inspiration and the Eight of Materials, or the Eight of Pentacles, in reverse. So the interesting thing about these two cards is that the page, it's both about learning. It's both about apprenticeship. It's both about being, I think, in the beginning stages. So right now, what it feels like is that you have a completely clean slate. There is nothing or no one that you are beholden to. So the Page of Inspiration, you know, it's really sort of the beginnings of that spark. It's something tiny, and it feels like your energy for these people, for these situations, has sort of been extinguished at this point. And with the Eight of Materials, you're no longer putting effort into building anything with them. It's almost like, you know what, you made your choice, you did what you did, I'm good. I'm no longer investing. I'm no longer working on this. So it feels as though you are cutting ties if you haven't done so already. And you are really looking to move into the next chapter of your life, into the new year, with a very clean slate, just sort of open to opportunity and the potential of what could be with yourself and with other people. So how you can best release the energy of the previous year, and I think that you've already started that work. We have the Four of Voices. So this is the Four of Swords in traditional tarot. It's about taking time for yourself. It's a little bit of solitude, but it's really about taking a rest. So I think that, Aquarius, given everything that you've experienced over the past year, if you can take just a little bit of time to yourself, to meditate, to reflect, do a cleansing bath, do a yoga session, whatever it is that makes you feel grounded and at peace, is something that you should be doing as you're going into the new year. So make sure that you take a little bit of time to yourself. And it also feels as though there is no need for you to make any efforts to reconnect with these other people, with these folks who were not team you throughout the year. And we also, again, we have the Ace of Emotions, or the Ace of Cups, to clarify. So the Ace of Cups really signifies new beginnings when it comes to emotions, when it comes to feelings. And I think, again, for the purposes of your reading and just sort of looking at all of the cards in context where you've had these not so great experiences with these other people, that moving into the new year, it's time to leave them where they are. There's no need for you to, again, try to spark up any sort of meaningful relationship with these folks. They're not meant to go with you into the next iteration of their journey. They've already shown you who they are. You've learned your lesson. You trust that you have done so. And now you're ready to move forward unencumbered, without their energy and without the baggage that they tried to put on your doorstep. So that's what I got for my Aquarius collective. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one.